So our next final subsocket is a ring final subsocket, and a ring final subsocket is defined as a circuit originating from a point in a distribution board or an consumer unit looped to respective terminals of 13 amp socket outlets. So it comes from the consumer unit or maybe a distribution board, and it's coming from a fuse or a circuit breaker rated 32 amps. Then loop to respective terminals of 13 amp socket outlets, and then it goes back to its origin. It goes back to where it's originated from. The cable size for ring final circuit is final subcircuit is 2.5 millimeter square, and this is only allowed to serve a maximum flow area of 100 meters square. So the advantage of a ring final subcircuit is that if the supply is broken from here, any of the cables, then this one will be supplied up to this end, and this one again will be supplied up this end. So that's the main advantage of it. Unlike radial, where if the supply is cut at one end, then the rest of the socket outlets will not have power. So there is also what we call a spar. And we defined a spar as a branch of ring final subcircuit. So you see, this is a ring, so if you open it, it will be like a ring. But there's a branch, maybe a branch coming from here, the double entry you guys always do when doing the wiring. So if there's a branch coming here to another room, for example, feeding this one, then this one is what we call a spar. So there's no need of bringing it here, then moving it to the next one. We just loop from here to this one. So this is a spar. So we have got two different types of spars. So in this one is a non-fused spar. So in this case, this is called a non-fused spar. Non-fused spar. There's also what you call a fused spar. So in this case, from here we go to spar fused boxes. Then from here is where you go to a spar again. So in this case, this will be known as fused spar. So as we already said that a spar is a branch of a ring final subcircuit, and we have got two types of spars. We have non-fused spar and fused spar. The IEE regulation stipulates that the number of spars, shall not exceed the number of socket outlets forming the ring. Remember, if the ring now has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 socket outlets, meaning the number of spars in this ring shall not be equivalent or more than the number of socket outlets forming this ring. And again, the IEE regulations stipulates that the size of the cable used to wire a spar shall be of the same size of that used to wire the ring. So if this one is 2.5 millimeter square, then meaning the size of the cable for the spar should also be 2.5 millimeter squared. Now let's draw a wiring diagram of 3 socket outlets wired in ring. A wiring diagram of 3 socket outlets wired in ring. Okay, so in this case we are having our, because we had already opened our consumer unit, so there was no need of introducing our consumer unit again. So we'll be having just our block, another one, and let's say this is our neutral block and this is our live block, and this is what we call our earth block. So in our live block, let's have our circuit breaker or a fuse rated 32 amps, and these are the terminals of our neutral. So we are wiring 3 sockets outlet wired in ring. So in this case, if our first socket outlet is here, let's say this is our neutral, this is our live, and this is our neutral. That's socket outlet 1. Socket outlet 2 is here. And our last socket outlet is here. Neutral, and this is earth. As I already said that the neutral is always in your left hand side, and the earth is the live is always in our right hand side. So in this case, by starting to wire our neutral, the neutral will come from here, put here, and our earth time here. Let our earth there, it goes here, and our live now coming from our circuit breaker rated 32 amps will go here. Now we shall be looping from our first socket outlet the rest of our socket outlets. So in this case, we are going to loop our neutral earth to earth, earth to earth. We're going to loop our neutral to neutral, neutral to neutral, the last one. And we are going to loop our live from our first socket, loop our live here, sorry, to here, and again loop our live to here. But remember, it's a ring 5-knot sub-circuit, so they must go back to their origin in the consumer unit. So in this case, our live will go back to its origin. Sorry for that. Go back there. Our earth, or our earth again will go back to its origin, where it came from. And this is our earth. And our neutral again will go back to where it came from. So this is our socket outlet 1, this is SO1, SO2 and SO3. Remember, we have our earth, this is our earth, this is our neutral, this is our live. Always written, we have our neutral, we have our earth, we have our live, we have our neutral, we have our earth, we have our live. So, has already been defined that a ring 5-knot sub-circuit originates from a point in the distribution board or consumer unit, looped to respective terminals of 13 amp socket outlet. So from here it is looped to the second one, and again looped, and again looped to the last one. Then from the last one, it goes back to its origin.